Hey and welcome to Neverwinter with Aragon. So right now we have a limited time campaign on the Wings of Dragons, and we can see that right here. We managed to get our progress all the way to 10 points, which just gives us the ability to claim this legendary pack, the Draconic Choice Pack. Now what should you be obtaining from here? Those of you on the live server, yes, it will still require you another 2 days to be able to obtain this. You should be on 7 now, and if we complete this day we'll be on 8. So on Tuesday again we'll be able to claim this pack. But I'm making this video in advance to help you guys, as this pack can be a little bit confusing, especially for newer players who might not know what this mythic set would give you, and you might choose it out of impulse because it's mythic. However, its bonus really isn't that great. So we'll go over everything in this pack, but firstly I'd like to go over the free login rewards you are able to obtain, and namely this legendary mount choice pack. Which mount should you be choosing from this pack? For tanks and healers, I would take the Armored Griffin or the Commander T-Rex, depending on which ones you already have. The Commander's T-Rex will help your team do more damage, also very good in an AoE fight, and the Griffin will prevent the enemy from dealing as much damage, reducing their damage by 10%, and that's 15% when you get this guy on Mythic. Otherwise, the rest of them I don't see as very useful. The balloons do have the ability to increase the damage to the target as well, like the T-Rex. However, its bonus is only 7.5%, whereas the T-Rex can be up to 15%. Just keep in mind multiple different types of T-Rexes, like the King of Spines or the War Painted T-Rex, won't stack with the Commander, whereas the balloons will stack with other T-Rexes, so this might be a useful option if everybody else just tends to run a T-Rex. If you're a DPS and don't have a Tunnel Vision or a Giant Toad Tongue Lash or the Golden Touch, I would definitely take the legendary Giant Toad as one of the best single target combat powers for the amount of sheer magnitude it deals. Otherwise, there's really nothing good here. You might look at the Tenor's floating disc. It has buff capabilities, but it's just nowhere near as good at all compared to just dealing raw magnitude damage from, let's say, the Giant Toad. If you need an AoE combat power, well, none of them are great here. You're best off going looking and getting a Pegasus. So back to this Draconic Choice Pack. What would I choose? Well, initially this Neverwinter standard artifact package, if we go and claim it, it came originally from the Echoes of Prophecy, we can see that it obtains these 3 pieces, 2 of them being on Mythic, and the artifact you'll have to sadly upgrade from green. Otherwise, we can see that the bonus it grants you is the Neverwintian Advantage, giving you 3% combat advantage. We can slot that in there and you can see 3% combat advantage. And that's only 3% stats versus something like the Mythalar, which can give you the ability to gain an additional hit whenever you deal combat advantage damage, which is excellent in my opinion, far better than just 3% combat advantage. Alternatively, you can run the Demogorgon set, but the price of it is just getting more and more expensive over time, and the Mythalar set is just so easy to obtain, and you can get it for free after just over 3 weeks grinding this Dragonbone Veil campaign. Then we have the Neverwinter Knight, which if you do not have it already, it is one of the best equip powers to go in an offense slot to increase your outgoing damage. Keep in mind though, if you look at, let's say, my dragon hunting build right now, we're using a Dragon's Bane. And if I were to go and switch to fighting other things that are not dragons, I will indeed switch that back to the Neverwinter Knight just here. And so if you have my build, I would definitely recommend this Neverwinter Knight as a very good option. However, there's a second good option, so it's a bit of a struggle. The Neverwintian Hawk. On a rogue, I don't particularly like the Hawk. It's a bit clunky and annoying to be able to use. However, it is one of the good options to use if you're not fighting dragons, and thus this Wondrous Dragon won't give you the additional damage boost when you're not fighting dragons. And so I would use the Hawk there instead. So as a DPS, you're really torn between the Neverwinter Knight or the Neverwintian Hawk. Personally, I would prioritize the Knight first. You can just run around with the Doohickey instead of the Neverwinter Hawk until you either manage to obtain it at a later date or something better comes along. Then there is the repurposed phylactery artifact pack. Now this phylactery set I would only run on a healer, as the bonus on it really isn't anything special. It's like the other mythic set, it just gives 3% of a stat, and this time 3% power. Would I run it instead of other healer sets like the Tiamat set? Personally, no, due to the fact that the Tiamat set just got its item level boosted to 1000, so now it's competitive. And when you run scaled content, which is the majority of content, item level just doesn't matter. And when you see the Tiamat set giving 5% stats, 5% outgoing healing that is, compared to the Phylactery set only giving 3%, yeah, you can make your deductions, and the Tiamat set is just better. So I really don't see why anybody would take this set. But since there's not a lot of other options here for a healer, you could take it if you're starting out as a healer and the Tiamat set is out of your budget zone. Then for God knows what reason, there's the Guard Drake here. Simply just a cosmetic mount. No reason you would take it otherwise. And lastly, there's the Legendary Insignia Choice Pack. If you have all of these rewards, you may as well just take a free Legendary Insignia. You can convert it to dust or choose one that you need for your build. So ultimately, a DPS, it's your choice between the Knight and the Neverwinter Hawk. As a tank, well, yeah, a Legendary Insignia. And as a healer, well, the repurposed Phylactery set until you get the Tiamat, or also a Legendary Insignia. If you were there for Echoes of Prophecy, well, you probably have everything here, and again, it's a Legendary Insignia for you. As for the rest of the rewards, well, here you're obtaining a pack, which is simply just going to give you a choice of these following insignias. You can choose one you want, but personally, I would just take an epic insignia and convert it to dust and try buy a legendary insignia from the auction house. Then you may have already obtained your mount tokens and your companion tokens, and then there's also this enchantment choice pack, which just has all of the following there. It even has very nicely these combat enchantments along with the companion enhancement. If you're starting out new and you just need an item level boost, I would highly recommend go with the combat enchantment. For a DPS, I would take Poison Thorn. For a tank, I would take Flash Freeze or Fortified Nature, or even Soul Shield. You just want one of these three defensive ones. In the end of the day, they're not really going to matter too much other than the extra bonus they provide. However, Flash Freeze is a little bit more effective right now since it has more like 100% chance than a 10% chance. And healers, well, there's nothing great here. You might want to just take an enchantment that you need. So that's going to wrap up this video. I'll make another one showcasing the new mount when I can get my hands on that, which again will be 2 days earlier than you guys. So overall, I'd like to give a massive thank you to all of my channel members for helping me keep my channel going. If you presented this well, consider leaving the video a like. If you're new around here, consider subscribing. We'll see you guys around. Goodbye for now.